Restaino.
Here.
Vice Chair Richard Updegrove.
Here.
Secretary Andrea Klizak.
Here.
Roll complete.
Great. The designation of directors, the directors are the same individuals.
That's what you want it to be, yes.
Do you want to add other people to the board of directors?
Find anyone that wants to. If we could, I would, if anyone got, I'll leave it at this. I will move the board of directors we have, but if anyone wants to join, I will leave it open that we
Great.
can accept that throughout the year and modify it as needed.
Okay, great. So now we'll move to the election of the chair of the board of directors.
I'll move that.
I'll second.
Who?
Oh, I'm sorry. You, the mayor.
I certainly was.
Yeah, you guys move pretty quick.
No, I wasn't trying to start a coup.
There wasn't any
Catch my
other thing
breath.
that entered their minds.
Okay, great.
It was almost like not
All in favor?
Aye.
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 She better be, that's why I was late.
it.
I told the mayor that's why I was late.
That's
That's ready to get your coffee.
Keep it later than me.
So let's move to 5.0, the election of officers of the board of directors. Vice chairman,
How do we do that? Right, I understand, but I can't make my own, right? So somebody else makes a motion by phone on it? or-
I can make a motion, I'd make a motion for Rick to be vice chair, right?
I'll second that. I see how this is going.
Yeah.
Well, here's,
I could see it
Here's the
coming a mile
problem.
away.
and this is a serious question. So what if, so I can't vote on it, right? What if one yes and one no? Does it fail?
Well,
I know it's never happened and probably will never happen.
I'd have to put some time in, it, but I would, I don't think you prevented from.
Oh,
yourself.
That's
Then I
what you're
vote
not
for, then I would vote for myself. That would be silly if I didn't
That's
vote for
sad.
myself.
It's like you're not prevented from.
Okay, I will vote for myself.
You can abstain if you choose, but
No, it's
you
okay.
have a vote.
No, it's okay. I'm a yes vote.
Okay. Andrea, you're a yes vote?
I
You
know,
moved
yes,
it.
yes.
Okay, great. I seconded, so yes. Okay, great. Thank you. Congratulations. Secretary of the board. See, here's where I could really sneak in my own self. That's why I sort of out.
I'd like to nominate myself for secretary.
All right, I'll nominate Andrea for the secretary.
And I'll second it.
Yeah, too much fun with this.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And now, see, this is how it is. It's like musical chairs. Like I'm the last one standing here when we nominate for the chair of the board. So thank you all so much for your kindness. I appreciate your support. The election of executive officers. This would be nominating Amy.
Second that. Thanks.
Why don't you call the roll on this? I want to see where everyone stands.
Feel free, I mean.
I'll vote yes.
I'm gonna call them all out.
Chair Robert Restaino.
Yes.
Vice Chair Richard Updegrove.
Yes.
And Secretary Andrea Klizak.
Yes.
That's consistent with Mr. Updegrove's comment about lifetime. We want to make sure that you know that we
Yeah.
like you being here.
Thanks. Thanks,
Okay.
guys. Appreciate that.
Treasurer.
Margaret,
I nominate.
I second it.
Call the roll again. So I make Amy feel.
Chair Robert Restaino.
Yes.
Vice Chair Richard Updegrove.
Yes.
Secretary Andrea Klizak.
Yes.
So 7.0 is the appointment of standing committees. We currently have the appointments in place. Is there any suggestion to change any of those appointments in the way in which they are? Or can we have a motion to continue the standing committees in the designation in which they currently
I'll make
exist?
that motion to continue that
Thank you.
as they
I'll
are.
second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay. Annual report, Amy.
Okay, so in your packets is the 2025 annual report. This is a requirement of the ABO and is in compliance with everything that Paris requires. So the first section is a mission statement, which we have not made any changes to. And then we go down into the corporation structure. It basically just says who was in the different positions for 2025. There was a change mid-year when Mike Cassell retired and then Andrea came on the board and took his place. So for 2025 accomplishments, this is just a snapshot of 4 different projects that were worked on or approved during 2025 fiscal year. The first is Junior's Truck Stop in Niagara Falls. All of the work on site has been completed and asbestos abatement was conducted in the buildings. Remediation of petroleum contaminated soils was done. We only have 12,000 plus left on that, and that is simply the retainage for the contractor. And before that's released, we're just waiting for the letter from the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation signing off on the cleanup. And then the city is selling the property to the Trades Council for use as a training center for the trades. So it's a great reuse of that property.
Amy,
Yes.
wasn't there some question with regard to environmental conservation?
Yeah, so there was an issue because of some of the petroleum like odors, I guess you'd say, at the site. So they're closing the spill in a way so it's listed as in inactive status, which is pretty common. So if there's in the future, if the trades are digging up somewhere and they encounter petroleum, they would have to contact the EC, but they would have to do that anyway. Like anybody would have to do that per state law. But there was a question about whether we could get to that clean, closed, fully status, and the answer was no.
And so, just so that board knows, it's the city's intention to arrange a meeting. Part of the difficulty has been getting, the leader of the Buffalo Niagara County Building Construction Trades Council has had some personal matters to deal with, and we haven't been able to get that meeting scheduled. My hope is that we'll do that, and then include you all in the conversation, so that it's not just the city having a conversation based upon what we've been told by this entity, but having this entity there too, or at least the officer, the staff of the and officers of the corporation, just to talk with the Trades Council on what you just explained to the residents. Thank you.
So it's gonna be a private sector.
It'll be nonprofit, the Trades Council, and what they'll do, what I've been told they ultimately want to do is they'll work out of the what you see here, this blue looking building. They'll work out of that building, which is where they've been working already, and they'll start the demolition in what was formerly the hotel and restaurant. I think the long range plan was to demolish everything and build their own training center there for all of the purposes that they may feel are necessary. Right now, they're kind of jerry-rigging this thing to work for them, but I think that's ultimately. And by the way, I think Amy's right, and as you had said too, Rick, it's a great reuse for the project because, quite honestly, the property itself, rather, is its footprint is more restricted than one might look at when you see it from street level, because that whole area to the west of the hotel building is owned by a utility. So it's not even as though there's that kind of parking.
Gonna be a good thing.
Yeah, and that should be, wrapped up very soon. DC should be issuing a letter. I think the last 624 River Road, remediation was completed this year at that property, and as they were finishing remediation and doing remediation, they were also doing construction. So that way, the two were in parallel with each other. Everything is completed there. They used a total of $1.5 million in loan funds for the remediation, and the loans are in repayment. And as indicated by the audit firm, everything is current with that. 2020 River Road in Wheatfields. This was a site where the board had granted a $425,000 sub-grant for site remediation. The property, it's kind of a mix of wooded areas and some open areas. There's a lot of wetlands on the property. The DEC is currently reviewing the wetlands delineation that was conducted for the site. So once that wetlands are completely defined according to the new guidelines by the state, then we can move forward with figuring out where remediation can occur because DEC is pretty sensitive about disturbing wetlands, even if it is to remove contamination and put in higher quality soils. So we're working that out. There are neighbors nearby, so we did meet with the neighbors and explain to them what we're doing. We're going to be doing more intensive planning and community outreach just to make sure everybody's on board. But the ultimate plan for the property is the town is creating a waterfront park at the site. It'll be most likely passive recreation just because of the wetlands. We can't, put playgrounds or things like that there.
Now, can I just go back to 624 River Road? That's a fantastic reuse of that.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
It's a really great example of what was able to happen because of this corporation and our program, because he did the project at 600 River Road and, he gave a testimonial that without this funding, the project would not have happened because he needed that seed funding for the remediation. So it's a great example of what can be done, public-private partnerships. And then we have 235 River Road, which is a new project. At the end of September, that project was approved for a $2.8 million remediation loan. And we have the developer here, which we'll hear from them. I think it's on the next agenda. But they're looking to develop the site into a mixed-use residential commercial community, which will be a great addition. It's right down from 624 River Road. It's also right across the street from another one of our projects, the Enterprise Lumber and Silo project. So really that whole corridor is being transformed and these are also going to be brownfield sites, which is great. Are there any questions on the project so far? Any questions? The next page is some financial information for the current project. This just lists where we stand. Again, almost everything is dispersed for the juniors truck stop project. Everything has been dispersed for 624 River Road, 2020 River Road. That 8690, that was the wetlands delineation. And, as we're moving forward, things will be really ramping up in 26 for that project. So I expect that balance to go down significantly. And then the 235 River Road project is still pending, so nothing has been expended. The next table is the loans that are in repayment and where each of the loans stand, how much principal has been paid, and what the loan balances are. Again, everything is current, and that money is coming back into the corporation for reuse at other sites. The budget table in the financial review, this just indicates how much cash we have on hand, how much has been dispersed for the grants and loans, and what our expenses for 2025 are. These numbers are the exact same that were in the audit, so everything matches. And then there's just a certification. Our code of ethics remains in effect. No changes were made, and we have all of the internal control structures and procedures that were indicated in the audit. Everything is in compliance. And I state those different things because those are specifically called out by Paris that we need to talk about. And then Margaret will sign the report, certifying all the information is correct. Any questions about the annual report?
Oh, seeing the annual report and file with
I'll move it.
Thank you.
The board of directors one is the ones for the exception.
Right.
So this is just
But
second.
this is just membership has to be filed with the minutes of the membership meeting.
Yes, and then go to the, yes,
And we will.
directors.
I'll move it.
Call roll, please.
Chair Robert Stano,
Yes.
Vice Chair Richard Updegrove.
Yes.
And Secretary Andrea Kleizak.
Yes.
Is the next piece the budget report?
Yep, the next one is the budget report. This is required to be part of the annual meeting, but this was already reviewed and adopted by the board at our July meeting and submitted prior to the August 1st deadline for the ABO. But it just has to be brought up in this meeting. It's in our packets.
We need no further action on this?
You do need to.
Same.
Just, it's the same, leave it, file with.
I move.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Call roll?
Chair Robert Stano.
Yes.
Vice Chair Richard Updegrove.
Yes.
Secretary Andrea Kleizak.
Yes.
A next meeting date, you'll just set that as.
It'll be December, because it's in, yep. 26.
Let me see as well. So we move into the Board of Directors meeting.